All right, viewers from around the world, you are welcome once again to the POLITY, which is coming live from the Abuja studio of KAFTAN television. KAFTAN stands for King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network Television. And this is where it's happening. You can tell your neighbor that the program is on air right now. And this is where we imagine a beautiful world. We imagine a beautiful Nigeria. My name is Dayo Omogun. I'll be taking you through the program in the next 90 minutes, as God wills. And straight away, my guest is here, and his name is Yahaya Goje. And he's a public affairs analyst. He was, he's a man of many parts, but we just limit it to that for this occasion. He's a politician and all that, but for this, we just say he's a public affairs analyst. I'm sure that he will do justice to the topic that we have today. And the topic that we have has to do with assessing the performance of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration within the last 2 years. And so I'll start by saying welcome, Yahaya.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege. I feel warmed around here.
Right, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Now, so I will be going straight to asking, of course, everybody is concerned about how has the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu delivered thus far. And so before we go into segmentation, before we go into the particular segment that we want to focus on a general note, how have you seen the performance of the regime, of the administration? Do you score the administration high? Do you score it poorly? Do you score it fair, average? On a general note, before we go into the foreign affairs that we really want to focus on.
Well, basically, I am supposed to be a foreign affair. I'm supposed to be a public analyst here.
Yeah.
So I would speak on the two sides of the coin. Basically, he has tried, but it hasn't been easy for the Nigerians.
All right. So
he
has
performed,
tried.
yes, he has worked a lot, but it has not been easy for the Nigerians.
To fellow Nigerians.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Easy. So he's saying, well, he's done pretty much, but the impact is yet to percolate to every Nigerian citizen and every nook and cranny of the country. Well, that's a fair assessment, if you ask me. And so quickly, we can move forward by now saying, on the foreign affairs turf, on the foreign affairs segment, how do you see the performance of his government in these last 2 years?
Wow. If I have to narrow it down to the foreign affairs,
yes,
basically I would say he has overperformed.
Really?
Yes, he has overperformed. Now, we are not talking about what are the citizens from the grassroots, how they look at it, but we're looking at it to be fair.
Yeah.
And in fair reasoning, we should say he has performed.
Okay.
Now, when you say he has performed, you have to have a story. Why did you say he performed?
Sure, yes.
There have been previous governments around.
Right.
We've seen the Buhari's regime, we've seen the Goodluck's regime, we've seen the Obasanjo's regime, we've seen the man from Katsina, Yaradua regime. So, but I still say I'm still happy that he has performed. And why I'm still saying that is, before he came on board, he said, on my first day, I'll set the ground rolling. And he did set the ground rolling because he came with two powerful points.
Right.
And that was subsidy and also the forex exchange.
All right, so how have those impacted on the foreign affairs scene?
Thank you very much, sir. You see...
are they connected? And if they are, how are they connected? How
yes, yes. You see, on this side, when you have that oil subsidy and you have the exchange here, there are two parallel things that move together. And even though there's a lot of arguments in between them, one of the arguments is that, oh no, we know you're trying to make the country have a lot of funds and have a lot of money to run the country. That's why you impose the subsidy. And then the overflow of the money inside the system, maybe it's going to make things cheaper, but it didn't. Rather, it made, the money go up and all of that. Then to some point, some arguments are like, oh, you would have waited 6 months after, and that's the reason why maybe Nigerians are having the blow. But the truth is that you need to face your demons. And you would have to agree with me that the Nigerian situation now is different from where it used to be when he came into the system. And on a lighter mood, Nigerians are on the best side to actually win.
All right. Well, let's make some progress as I put this question. Shortly after his inauguration, I think that was July 2023, he was elected as the ECOWAS head, and he got re-elected the following year, which means 2 terms now. So how has this affected the sub-region where ECOWAS holds sway?
Well, you have to agree with me that whatever good in Nigeria, whatever policy, whatever happens in Nigeria affects the ECOWAS country, even apart from the leadership aside. So if we are moving forward, every good step we take in Nigeria, out there, they also get the effects of what we have. Coming to him on board means he has a lot of overview on his plate, and he has his cards spread on top of the plate, and which means very well that you are sure that he is going to bring his advisors, bring his thoughts, bring his experience, and that is what you have seen in a lot of solutions we've had. He's been able to intervene, during the Niger issue, during some of the issues and all of that, and it has helped him look holistically at like the issues like the security issues, and try to look at, okay, how do we, what can we do what can we do, what are the strategy, or either public or privately and diplomatically, and see how we can move the country forward.
All right, you just mentioned Niger, and so maybe we should take it from there. Now, Niger, shortly after his or before his inauguration, suddenly there was a coup in the country, which made the country join a number of became a military dictatorship. Now, if you recall, the ECOWAS, that is the institution, under his leadership, tried at first to see if they could railroad, if you like, use military force to turn back that move. And do you think that that was appropriate? And how has that affected us and Niger, or us, and the entire sub-region?
Well, you can't take it away that Niger are our brothers.
Right.
They are our brothers because if you enter Niger today, you will notice that a lot of things happening in Niger is the same thing happening with some of us at the tropical Nigeria. The way our cultures, we share, we even have some of our cousins across borders and all of that. Now, that is that for Niger. Now, one of those things I want you to understand is that Mr. President will do his best. He has tried to do that, and based on his own intelligence, he knew why he took the next step, and he knew why he's having a standing and what are happening. Now, I'm not the president of Nigeria.
No, of course.
Yeah, but one thing I want you to agree with me basically is that he has this intelligence, he's in control, and basically he did what he had to do. and I'm sure we are at the safe side now.
Yeah, but that seemed to even precipitate more trouble within. It generated some bad blood, for example, between us. You just said that Nigeria people and us are brothers, because the matter was no longer being looked at as a sub-regional decision. It was being looked at as Nigeria trying to, how do you say this now? Maybe trying, quote unquote, to bully a fellow, a neighbor. And it wasn't quite, it didn't go down well.
I agree with you, but it didn't go that well. But one thing I want you to understand, I have to bring you back to where you need to understand where we have to speak from. If you are the father, as the ECOWAS boss who he is, you have to treat every state together. Fathers make mistakes sometimes and all of that. So I want to let you know that President Tinubu is aware of the situation. And there are a lot of activities that are happening now to make sure that the family is still one. Some you would see them on media, some you would not see them on media. But the results are what we use in tracking out what good has been done.
Exactly. So what results do you think have come out of some of those efforts?
Basically, right now, there's less tension between the two countries as per that relationship you talk about. They are having their own peculiar issue.
Right.
As a country, we are having our own Nigeria peculiar issue. So, but of course, when it comes back to ECOWAS, we can now look at it on a more different angle. So it is important that we look at things at levels. We don't just move into things like that. Yes, at a time as a country, we have to know that, okay, this is country. There are limitations, there are laws, there are all of that. But at the national, at ECOWAS level, inputs holistically have to come in. Decisions have to be well looked through. And most of these things are the drivers of whatever we have today. Thank you very much.
All right. So you talked about the fact that maybe we need to be a lot more measured in taking certain decisions.
Yes.
And that came out quite clearly from how it went when the regional body couldn't really muster the kind of force that they talked about. So what it seemed like was, before, they didn't have a thorough, deep thought, a thorough consultation, a thorough discussion of the pros, the cons, what will be involved and all that before they broached the idea. And that, I mean, that's clearly, I don't know how you see that.
Yes, you are right. You see, we have to, in talking about the how he has fared on the foreign affairs, I have to look at it from this angle. Sorry. Economic diplomacy.
Right.
So when you talk about economic diplomacy, you can't have results in some of these places without you talking about issues of security. Niger, it's a country that are our brothers, and Nigeria will continue to be our brothers' keepers. So, but of course, right now, I'm sure that we don't have any grudges in between us, and which is a good for Mr. President, for us to know that you're in good terms with your neighbors. There's no tension, or there are no occurrences of insurgents and what do you call them, Boko Haram and all of that. So it also gives a good nod for Nigeria to continue with its projects of economic development, of inviting investors and making them know that we are secure and all of that.
Now, you just talked making them know that we're secure. Now, let me ask you, are we secure?
Well, you see, for the investors coming into Nigeria, they have to know that their investments, it's secured. So for them to know their investment is secured, that is why Mr. President has engaged his security outfits to make sure that we have 24 activities to reduce the insurgents, to reduce most of the issues that are supposed to be troubling us. And I will have to tell you the fact, sir, Nigeria is doing well on security.
Oh, really? Tell me about that.
Even though every day we are having challenges, but
even though every day we're having challenges,
but you can tell you that it has been managed beyond what you're thinking. If anything is managed up to 70%, all you have to do is, you know, give a nod and continue being positive to whatever whatever energy you're putting.
You probably have a reliable source of statistics for you to be able to say that it's been managed 70%.
Let me give you an instance. You know, I am from Kaduna, right?
Right.
And in Kaduna, you know, you would agree with me that you don't have security, you know, issues as you would hear before. You know, the government from the federal and the state has gone down to the grassroots to look at how do we have a safer environment for the citizens, whereby they can be able to get the benefits of you know, leadership and good governance. And it's something to say, you know, are you talking about Southern Kaduna? Are you talking about what do you call it, Biningwari? All of these things. You see Governor Obasani always making the president proud out there, and all of those kind of things. So what every governor is doing is following the body language of Mr. President, how to make sure that security goes down to every state. And it is when security is there that a lot of investors will keep on flooding, as they are doing today.
Okay. Now, so as far as you're concerned, the fact that the focal points has shifted means that the problem has reduced. I do not agree with you, because it looks like, you know, I used to be a part of an organization before. I don't want to mention the name, and I kept raising the same this kind of matter, that you do a certain exercise, and then you set up a new outlet. You set up a new outlet, you hardly can get any new people into that new outlet. So you take people from this existing outlet and take to this new outlet. And quote and unquote, people think the authorities were counting that as growth. And I say that's no growth, because, I mean, if you had 60 or let's say 100 people in this particular outlet, and you remove 30 and go and put 30 in this new outlet, and you think that you have grown. No, you have not grown. You have only increased challenges and costs. Because what it means is that there will be expense heads to run this new outlet, and you're still running this one, and then you have cut this one thin, and then that one is also thin. So both of them are just hanging. I mean, so that's no growth. So let me come back to the example you gave. So if the focal point is no longer on Kaduna, and now it is in Benue, it is in Zamfara, it's in Plateau again, in a huge wave of resurgence, and with huge numbers of victims, can we truly say that that is some improvement? And it's not even, it doesn't end there, because maybe when we talk about security, it's a huge issue. It goes beyond just banditry. It goes beyond insurgents. What about the kidnapping, local kidnappings all over the place? What about armed robbery? What about such other criminalities and all that? So, I mean, I'm sure Nigerians are listening to you, and they must be wondering, I don't know, does this person live here? But because especially anybody watching from around, and they watch us from around the world, and so anybody watching from Plateau State right now will have some concern about what you've said. So do you truly believe that because the target has moved somehow from the Kaduna axis, now it's in Benue full time, so much so that the chief of army staff, or is it the chief of defense staff, or one of them, had to relocate to go try to motivate his men, and he actually came from, where's that again, before coming to Benue. Do you think, in all honesty, that progress is being made?
Thank you very much,
security-wise.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, for me, I think I have to give a round of half claps again for President Asiwaju.
All right.
Reason because he's in his ascension into government, he has given a body language which is actually zero tolerance around any mess, around insecurity in Nigeria. And you have to agree with me, not just Kaduna, all around the states, the president is working. They can have their peculiar limitations, you know, strength, military strength, and all of those things. You can't be everywhere because they are not police.
Right.
Yes, so, but I want you to agree with me that, yes, the military has been on their toes, and we have all around Nigeria, we have been having managements. I don't think security has been managed as much as in the past civilian years, as much as what has happened in the Asiwaju regime. Of course, I am not happy about some of the recent incidents, the life lost. You know, if not directly, indirectly, I would have one of my own into it, because we're flesh and blood, we're all blood Nigerians, we're all from all similar places. So I actually say, you know, condolences to some people that have lost themselves. But again, I want to tell you that this is a total different scenario from what your analogy was, because your analogy was trying to portray something new differently, expensive. No, Nigeria is one Nigeria. Nigeria is our business, and because Nigeria it's a one-point agenda.
I should be telling you that. I should be telling you
because
that
Nigeria is a one-point agenda. Because Nigeria is a one-point agenda. That's why you find somebody leaving his office, leaving the AC, leaving every convenience, because he knows that his boss, President Asiwaju, will not be happy to see your reoccurrences. He doesn't need him to call him and say go. He knows what to do, and these are the things that is happening. See, I want you to agree with me, sir.
Incidentally, I think on this occasion, I think it was the president who actually ordered him, gave that marching order. But that's neither here nor there. I like to, there was something that you raised just now, and when you talked about, okay, maybe I'll get back to it when I pick it up again. But clearly, I think that because we're on this, let's spend a little more time on it. Because see, I'm sure that we understand that security or insecurity, whichever way you want to look at it, has a whole lot of repercussions. Whether it's doing well or not, has a lot of effects on the other aspects of life. As we speak, people are still very much, they live in fear, they are still very much afraid. In actual fact, just about a month ago, there were people whose hands and arms had been caught. They came into the studio here, and their representative spoke on camera, and I think we were able to show some of the pictures of some of their mangled, I mean, they're disfigured, including somebody, a lady who lost the husband, lost the child, and the little child with her was also injured. So, I mean, if we have such recent reports, it cannot be really true that, and these are not, they are regular reports, and they are all around the nation. And so it will be, I think that it will not help even the administration if we say it's doing so well, saying that 70% has been managed, and whereas what we have on the ground is a little bit, not a little bit, is quite far from what the commentary is from you. I think that we need to even as we try to give kudos to the administration, yes, give kudos where necessary, clearly, but I do think that on the issue of insecurity, there's a whole lot more work that needs to be done. Again, when you say I think that's the point I wanted to make. You said that you do not think that any administration has managed the insecurity challenge in the last civilian from the civilian experience compared to what the Asiwaju has done. I'm sure. Do you remember that there was a time when a particular chief of army staff or defense staff, I may not necessarily call his name, but I think, he was of the southeastern extraction. He was in charge. And during that time, there was a whole lot of bombardments. There was a whole lot of, snuffing out. There was a whole lot of cutting off. And so much so that some people, unfortunately, some very exposed persons, some very people who should understand what's happening, but because we tend to politicize everything, including security, some very top members of this society were the ones who were saying, they are killing our people. They are killing our people. They are killing Northerners. This. Whereas there was a mission, there was an assignment that was being executed and that needed to be executed, so that if probably that trajectory had continued at that time, it's most likely that we probably would not be in this state even now. So to say that there's no government that has managed, I think that's something that's questionable.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You see, you just
that's one. That's okay. Let me let you.
Okay. You see, this is a hypothesis you gave, and
not a hypothesis. It's a clear scenario. It's reality.
Well, this is a hypothesis. Why I say it's a hypothesis is because you're trying to bring the issue of half full and half empty, and blow the proportion to a very let me look for the best word to use. But more importantly, what I want you to understand is that security is an issue all over the world.
True.
Security is an issue all over the world, and most importantly, I would say it whether you agree with it or not. You see, one of those things why Asiwaju has fared well. I was in one of those events last week in NIPC, where you see a lot of companies, investors that has shown interest. You're not just coming with their FDIs, they are coming with their FDIs and their portfolios, which means this is an opportunity, which means there have been confidence. There have been confidence in the Nigerian space. So since we have confidence in the Nigerian space, you not agreeing with what they have their own intelligence, they have what they have done, and they are already having return of investment, and they are celebrating with us. So I think it's something to tell President Bola, thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving the best of the body language. Now, I am not saying completely that there is no, because you are mixing the English for me, and that's why I am trying not to be confused. You will have occurrences 1, 2, 3 out there, but it doesn't mean it is not being managed. It doesn't mean the armed forces, the security, the paramilitary are not on their toes. I am telling you that Mr. President has done so well in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Because
as far as concerned, yes.
Because if you want to compare what he has achieved in 2 years, the former president in 8 years has not achieved that, with even all of those people around him. Because the confusion there is that people just believe for you to say, oh, the president is working, is when they say, according to, they say it's when we see food on top of our table. And
we're really not talking about food on our table. But you delve into security.
Yes, I am really telling you. I am not shouting praise, sir.
If you say,
I'm not shouting praise.
I'm only
saying if you see something, say it. That's all I'm trying to say here.
Exactly. So
what I'm saying is that what I have seen, I think the president is trying. I think the president is praying because one important thing about governance is for you to be able to put yourself together. Put yourself in a pack.
How do you mean?
And pick a direction.
Okay.
And when you pick the direction, it should be the direction of progress.
All right.
I will tell you that all the agencies that are working under the presidency, because of the motivation Mr. President came with, I'm telling you that they are all on their toes. And because that's the reason you see most of those results you are seeing. The problem is there's a disconnect. People don't want to approach governance the right way it is meant to be. Mr. Bola, our President Asiwaju, Mr. President, has fared well in his saddle in the last 2 years. Reason because he has picked the issue from the grassroots, not from the branch, as we keep on bringing this kind of topics. No, why did you take the other branch off? Why did you take the other branch off? No, he is working as a father of the country. He's neither Yoruba, nor Igbo, nor Hausa. He's working as a father of the African nation.
All right.
And he has been able to put a lot of things together to make sure that we have this. I think
that part of how to assess anyone is to compare results with objectives set at the beginning.
True.
Right.
I agree with
now,
you.
if you recall, after was it shortly after the minister was appointed, Mr. Tugar, the Foreign Affairs Minister, and he broke down the goal, the focus of the administration into 4 Ds.
Doctrines.
4 Ds, which he broke into D for democracy, D for development, D for demography, and D for diaspora. Now, if this is where we are looking
the working model,
if this is the working model, if this is the criteria with which we measure progress or success, of which one of these 4 would you say that the administration has done very well, especially when you add the fact that by how do you say it now, by divine arrangement, we also happen to have been in charge of the sub-region, if not the entire Africa, but the sub-region of ECOWAS. I mean, how do you read? Which one of these can you really be proud about? Is it the democracy? When Niger has not been stopped, you have Burkina Faso, you have this other country, they remained military regimes. And if you're talking about development, we have our challenges huge that we've not tackled. So I don't understand whether we've been able to stretch forth or galvanize the kind of progress that was envisaged by this 4-goal thing. Now, if you talk about demography, well, I don't know how we have done there. Maybe if we talk about diaspora, maybe there's some ray of light there.
Thank you very much.
Tell us.
Now, the issue there is you're trying to separate the hand.
No. This is the administration's henchman.
I have the mic.
This is very good.
I have the mic. Now, you're trying to separate the eye from being a part of the body. You're trying to separate the leg from being the part of the body. I want to let you know that in this model, working model, the 4 of them are working all together as a pact. And that is the reason why we are having a lot of this result.
All right.
Now, one of the beautiful stories you see in the headline, which is not a lie, is that Nigeria has 6 billion in its foreign reserve. I hope you're aware of it. That's
economy. That's not foreign affairs.
Well, I just want to let you know that it's some of the advantage from the foreign affairs investors, what they have brought in and how they have helped the economy boost. That's why we're able to save in some of the injections we have had. So, but right now, let me bring you back. We have, I think, let's say 35 investment tourism, Mr. President, has gone on, like 20 in the first year, like 15 in the second year. And Mr. President don't just enter the plane and goes to a country. He goes to this particular tourism as war. I'm coming to get investment for my country. And in that about 35 or 36 trips, he's been able to put together Saudi Arabia, China, India, France, Netherlands, and all of this. He's been able to put them up together, you know, and make sure that what can come out the best, because they were his priority countries. I knew that, okay, what would come. Now, after going to those countries, he makes sure that there's also a special task force on whatever that has been discussed out there, whatever investment. How do we follow it down? So if there's any agreement, how do we make sure that those reforms, those agreements is domesticated to the last, to make sure that, okay, yes, we want this deal. Our terms of references for us inviting you and looking at this area, we are ready to meet up to our own side. And that has built confidence. Do you understand? And since it has built confidence, you understand that some of these trips were being influenced by the diasporas. That is diaspora. If you talk about demography, you know, most of these business fundings that have come, that you see them moving around the country, that the youth are engaging themselves, that is part of it. When you talk about democracy, all of it, because people are able to say, Mr. President, this is what we want, this is what we want, this one, and then he channels it into it.
Let me ask you, Yahaya.
The issue there is very simple.
Can you give what you don't have?
That is,
can you give what you look? Let's have a straight answer. Can you give what you don't have?
The question you're asking is a beautiful question.
No, but not for the beauty of the question.
Not for this scenario.
Can you give?
This analogy does not work here. I will get to this.
You don't know what I want to do with it.
Okay.
I said, can you give what you don't have?
I can't.
Good. Now, from the very depths of your person, can you say that we truly have democracy running in Nigeria today? And so how do you export what you don't have? How do you want to promote what? That was one of the fallouts. Do you remember?
Very much.
Do you remember? There was one of the. Let me just finish. Let me just finish.
That is the reason.
Let me just finish. There was one of the, West African leaders, one of the military guys, who took us on and made a mockery of Nigeria, saying, look at this, they are trying to come teach us democracy. Where is the democracy in their own place? In fact, he knocked the elections that brought in Mr. President. So, and then we see situations where the people who went off the hook from the democratic group, they have still remained there. And their people are not saying anything against it. So how come, on what basis could we even have thought of going to war? Again, by the way, maybe the sweet memories of the exploits of ECOMOG during the periods of Babangida and all that, maybe, but you see, that's part of what the world is saying, that considerable thought was not given before broaching the idea of maybe overrunning the administration and bringing them back into the democratic fold, because clearly Nigeria doesn't have the economic power of the time of Babangida. And if ECOWAS is to step in to do that kind of thing, you can be sure that more than 50% of the resources, more than 50% of the personnel, more than 50% of logistics, more than 50% of whatsoever that's required will come from Nigeria. So that should have been put in consideration before even ever broaching that. Because luckily, we didn't eventually go. It would have turned out a fiasco. That's what many people believe.
You see,
and that also has portrayed us, when you don't plan then you plan to fail. Because what it means is that some of these people can begin to now look down on us and say they can just bark, they can't bite.
Well, the picture you're painting is an interesting picture. What I want you to understand today is that President Tinubu, in this past 2 years, has done a lot of surgery to us. And that surgery has helped us to build confidence. And that is the reason you see that the economy is on the ground and is rolling. And I want you to agree with me, sir, that each time we highlight an issue of importance of national development, either in security or in the economy, I want you to assure you that it always gets to the ear of the government.
Great.
And when it gets to the ear of the government put in necessary actions to make sure these things are being sorted out. So I have not come here from the beginning of this conversation to tell you, oh, Nigeria is 100%. I am only satisfied by the fact that Mr. President is running like a 25 years old young man, putting a lot of energy to see how do we succeed better than what it has started. How do we achieve what is the best for the Nigerian citizen? And you know, you cited a lot of things in the past, but I want to make you understand that in between, the situation in the past is not as it is today. Perhaps maybe if Babangida were to be in the presidency today, you know, I wouldn't want to say too much unnecessary, but you just have to understand that President Asuwaju has come at the right time, and he didn't come from the blue as luck, as some of the presidents in the past. They came out of luck, you know, and not prepared. He didn't
prepared. That's a very good point you just made. He came prepared. That's what you're saying.
Yes, so he came prepared.
So and that is why he came prepared. And this is what we have gotten so far.
Did you say 2 years?
2 years.
Yes, and then after saying 2 years, did you try to look at what is the composition of the Nigerian state? Did you try to look at the economy before his inception?
That's what we're saying. That is what I'm saying. That on the basis of that, Nigeria shouldn't even have been part of any attempt to use military force to try to bring back Nigeria into the democratic.
I thought we have already sorted that topic, sir. You know, like I told you. So I thought we have done this topic because you're bringing it back again and again.
No, I thought that's what you're.
No. I want to put it to you, sir.
The truth is that
you see, this is just the truth. We've talked about this and we've passed through this.
All this,
you see, this is where we are now. We're talking about the economy.
No, we're not talking about the economy.
Yeah,
that's why I did the segmentation from the very beginning. We're not talking about the economy. We're talking about the foreign affairs. And I'm going to take you back to the foreign affairs right now.
The foreign affairs
is
what has given us the political viability. That is where we are now. That is where we've started, where we're leading to. But, sir, if you want to talk about the Niger issue, I want to make you understand, sir, that for me, I wouldn't have any comment on that side because I'm not a president, but my analysis as a public analyst from the chair I'm sitting there, I want to say that yes, the president has looked at the issue, he has heard a lot of advices, and he knows what he's doing there. You make
the matter worse for the president when you say he came prepared, but that's not really the issue. If you say he came prepared, then his delivery should be a lot more than this. But let's leave that. Now, I agree with you that in terms of the
half-empty cup you have.
In terms of diaspora, yeah, I believe that many Nigerians believe that a whole lot is being done there, and you can see the result that has also come from there. But again, there are still cries for more concern and love to be shown. For example, the diasporans are asking, if they contribute so much to the economy, why can't they be part of voting during elections? Maybe we don't want to push that, but why can't they be part of voting during elections? If you can send money via your phone to your mother in the village somewhere around Nigeria, far away from the center of unity here, why is it so difficult that we can't get to the point where diasporans can vote from wherever they are. And yet, these people, they are almost the pillar on which the economy currently stands. So those are some of the issues, but because we don't have so much time, I would like that our viewers begin to weigh in very shortly, and then we'll take some of the parts. For example, as we speak today, Nigeria has no ambassadors. Nigeria has no ambassadors, and it's been so since about 3 or 4 months since he was inaugurated. So if we're talking 3 months, we're talking, forget about May, because just 1 or 2 days in May that remains, and then you talk about June, July, August. So around August, we've not had ambassadors. Does it mean that those positions are irrelevant, or is it that we have become so poor that we cannot fund it, or is it that there's some level of a problem with the administration just getting its acts together to bring a list of maybe about 100 people out of 200 million Nigerians? Okay, maybe half of that are youths or children or whatever. Are we saying that we can't find 100 people, 150 people or thereabouts from around 100 million people? When we get back from this break, we can go into that.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still on to the POLITY, and it's coming live from the Abuja studio of King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network Television. And in case you have not done so, tell someone that something's happening here and they need to be a part of it. By the way, you could be a support to this program with your advertisement. And that's very crucial, because it helps us to help you. It helps us to remain, to dish out the kind of quality stuff that you've been getting from here. And I'm not saying that for me, that report, that assessment has come severally from many of you, and we appreciate that. And so we're back, and my guest is still here. Yahaya Goje is his name. He's doing his best, and we also want you to weigh in, and so the line is open right now, 0802-993-8365. If that's too fast, I'll take it slowly, but it's already on the screen. But let me take it again, 080-299-38365. All right? So let's have your call right there. It's here already. Hello.
Hello to you.
Yes, you're welcome to KAFTAN TV.
Thank you, Mr. Zaya. Good day to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Who's this?
This is Brian Mustafa calling from Gogolada.
Oh, okay, my friend, the Gwag's friend, all right?
Thank you very much.
How's Gwag's?
Yes. The discussion on the scorecard of our president today is very interesting.
All right.
And your guest on the hot seat, I want to appreciate him.
Okay.
And I want to tell him, and I want to tell you as well, that he is being economical with the truth.
All right.
In his analysis.
He's hearing you, and
you have become the panelist by yourself, whereas he's become the moderator. And he has shown us, it says that we should be aware that the presidency is hearing our discussion.
Exactly. And I said that's very good.
And I think that is why it's being economical with the truth.
Okay.
And that is why the National Assembly and the judiciary is comatose today, because of that fear of the presidency hearing what is happening. So nobody is ready to say the truth. We must be ready to say the truth to power, even to die in that process, in order to salvage our country from dictatorship. We cannot live in fear permanently. It's better we live gallantly and die gallantly than to live in fear and die in fear. That being said, the scorecard of the president, so far to me, honestly, I'll score him 0.
No, you can't score him 0 because it's not possible.
I'll give you the reason why I'll score him 0.
Well, you know, again, we're focused on foreign affairs. Would you be focused that way, or you want to do a general?
Because we delve into area of security, economy, and things like that. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about foreign affairs briefly, but let me give this analysis for Mr. Dio.
Right.
Security of life and property, and then welfare of the citizenry is the mainstay of every government.
All right.
Asiwaju has been in the trenches for over 40 years going to the seat, and he has eventually got it. And he has not done any, he has worsened the security situation of this country, he has worsened the food security of this country by his premature removal of subsidy, which has resulted in all this, he removed this thing without consultation, and he is adamant that he has done the right thing. That means he does not take advice. He did this thing before he formed his cabinet. And people have been advising me. People like Obasanjo have talked, people like Bakari have talked. These are eminent personalities in the country. They are feeling the pulse of the people. And adamant is not going to change it. Now, and you know, this security of a team is the determinant of the success of every other sector of the country. The economic sector, the educational sector, the health sector, every sector, the infrastructure that is boosting, that is doing. This is the determinant of all the sector of the security. How do you have infrastructure with sad people moving on it, hungry and sad people moving on it? Nigerians are very hungry today, and it's because of his wrong policies. Having been in the trenches for years, one would have expected that he's ready. Just like your guest said he's ready, he has not shown any readiness. He has failed Nigeria completely.
All right, so let's hear your point on the foreign affairs.
In the issue of the foreign affairs, the way he handled the Niger coup was very unpolitical. He did not handle it with maturity. And that is why that sector today is being looked upon as a traitor, aligning with France. And he will subsequently regularly visit to France. He has shown he's not with Africans. And it's with supposed adventure in Burkina Faso, with the president that we heard on the news, his moves to make the Burkina Faso be arrested in the country and things like that. That was blown up by the Burkina Faso president. He has not shown any move to identify with African dream of exalting the black man. Asiwaju has not shown that. So to me, he has failed in all corners. I score him 0. Please, if you give me more time,
I won't be able to give you more time. We're running. Okay, just you want to say something to the guest?
Thank you. I'll come back. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Ibrahim Mustafa from Gwagwalada is the one that just finished calling. I don't know whether you want to respond to him or let's take this other call. Maybe you could put them together if you want to respond to them. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Welcome to KAFTAN TV.
Hello?
You are welcome to KAFTAN TV. We can hear you.
Hello?
Wow. There's a problem with your connection.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Clearly, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. This is Nikia from Lokoja.
All right. So, go ahead.
Thank you. Your program is very interesting.
Thank you.
I will call the president 55%.
All right. That's more like it. Go on.
Because of the following analysis.
Okay. At least that's a far cry from
He has done what other president could not do. That is local government autonomy.
Incidentally, I would really have loved for us to.
Autonomy,
If money can go directly to the local government, they will be, the local government chairman, 774 local government chairman, they can become another, they can fight down the insecurity in their various local governments because they have funds to recruit vigilantes as well as hunters to help him.
All right.
So in the area of that aspect, he is not only present to solve all the insecurity in the whole federation. He can stand. The state can help him. The state, that is the same governor. The local government chairman can help him. So I score him 55%.
Well done.
Coming to economy.
No, not economy. Let's leave it there.
To the economic situation.
Let's leave it there, please. Let's leave it there, please.
The other area is that...
No, I said we leave it there because that's not what we're discussing.
The petroleum price.
Now, so, you want to take it?
Yes, my very good brother said we're not supposed to live in fear. We're supposed to be gallant.
Right.
Well, I think we're in a civil environment. I have to remind him of that. Now, we're talking about fear. I think it is wrong for you to romance your problem. It is important for you to actually address your fear. You face your fear to the face. And when you face it to the face, that is where you have solutions. Now, Mr. President did not just stand there to start romancing the problem. He started on a day one running. The truth is that we faced a hit out of it, out of the fuel subsidy. But I'm telling you, that's the reason why you won't hear that, Labour Congress is unpaid people. Oh, all those issues. We don't give accolades to things that have happened. We just want to maintain a culture of complaint. I would be expecting call for somebody to tell us, okay,
let's see whether this is the call you're expecting. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, KAFTAN Television.
Yes, you're welcome to KAFTAN Television.
Yeah, my name is Tope from Nasarawa State.
Tope, you're welcome. Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, my take on this particular topic is a very simple and pressing topic in our country today. Even the blind, the deaf and dumb, they can attest to what is going on in Nigeria. Anyone that come on air to applaud this day government, Tinubu government, that person is just among those that are secretly benefiting from this government. He's not speaking the mind of the people, of the Nigerian people. Let's not tell ourselves lies. Your invited guest said from day one, Tinubu set the ball rolling. How? We were crying before that 196 naira per liter for fuel is too high. And from the one that he came, he threw it to 580 naira per liter. Is that that is from fire to fire. All the policies that he has made, like somebody just talked about the local government autonomy, is it functioning?
I would really love, because of time, if we would focus on the foreign affairs thing, because we don't have time at all. Sorry about that. You're making your points, yeah.
For the foreign affairs, I don't see what is on ground, what is going on, what is working in the foreign affairs. He keeps traveling abroad, calling people to come and invest in Nigeria, whereas those that are already on ground are leaving the country. Is it not when those that are locally here doing well that will attract those from outside to come? So I don't see what he wanted to appoint ambassadors. Up to today, they have not started working. So those all these policies he's making, they are just politics. He's just using it to campaign for his next re-election. It's not about governance. If you want to talk about the student loan, how has it functioned? How has it helped our students today? Every policy that he has made, none of them is working. He has thrown Nigerians to abject poverty, increase in criminality, increase in different sort of evil. in the country. Every day, you could, that man in your girl said in the area of security that he has tried. Tried how? By relocating the head of military to Benue. Please, let's stop deceiving ourselves. Let's stop talking.
All right, Tokwe, let's leave it there.
What we move this country forward.
Thank you very much,
Tokwe. Politics.
Thank you, Tokwe. I think that because we don't have the time, I don't think you want to really respond to all this.
Yes.
I think we should just go straight to the issue that I raised before the break. We still don't have ambassadors as of today, about 2 years after they were recalled and all that. How does that put us in the eyes of the world?
Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to open up the whole story to you. Just to let you know that I am also concerned about the ambassadorship. I want to make you understand that on the international market, because I'm an investment expert, right? There is a shift presently in the global investment system. And that has made countries that are already engaged with Nigeria to come again through their ambassadors. And coming through the ambassadors, they might need our ambassadors and all of that. I actually understand, because I'm not going to say this when it's green and when I have to say that with you. But what I want you to understand is that Nigeria is a complicated country. Even
so complicated that we can't find.
Nigeria is a complicated country. You didn't hear me. Nigeria is a complicated country that you have to be very careful. There are things you do them mid-time, immediate, and long time. This is a small job to do. This is a small job to do, right? And it's an easy job to do. But what you have to do, you have to be very, very careful in what you are doing. I might not be speaking the mind of Mr. President, but one thing I want you to understand is that I am very sure that that particular environment is very, very important. Ambassador positions are very, very important to same the job of investment. And I'm sure that as we are speaking, this has also got into his own ears, and he will also find a way as is inside his plan to make sure that we have results, because we are in need of these FDIs. That's the reason why he's also traveling. So I want to make you understand, sir, that very, very simple. We should be expectant. All right, we should be expectant. You probably are speaking from a position of the insider. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Yahaya.
Good afternoon, sir. I want to listen to you.
Thank you. My name is Friday. I'm calling from Abuja.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Yahaya, I just have some few questions to ask you, sir. I hope you'll be delighted to answer some of the questions.
Yes, smartly. Because
okay.
we have less time.
You started this earlier. We follow this program patiently to listen to your analysis. Don't be offended with Nigerians, the way they have been reacting to their cause, or because of the reality on ground, that you see them sound the way they sound on phone. Now, I know the essence of removing the subsidy is for the government to have, funds to run, her government. Is that true or false, sir?
Very true. Very true. Very true.
Now, where is the money? That should be the question. And the government are still borrowing money. And why is this subsidy removing? Why is it not reflecting in our economy? Why is it not affecting the Nigerians positively? That is number one question I want you to analyze. And secondly, to end it because of time, you have not truly told us what this government have achieved under 2 years. I know the topic is strictly on the foreign affairs, but the foreign affairs may not concern Nigerians somehow, but Nigerians are what impact has this 2 years benefit we Nigerians? So please, just answer these few questions.
All right, thank you, Friday.
Right. We know what they have benefited Nigerians the past 3 years.
Thank you very much, Friday. Thank you very much. Thank you. To say that the foreign affairs does not affect Nigerians is not correct, but we don't have time to spend on that. Let's take the second one. You probably would do. Hello.
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 Hello to you.
You're welcome to KAFTAN Television. Oh, God. All right, go on. But you have 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds, and I'll watch the.
confirm myself to the foreign affairs now. You see, let me give your guest another reminder. You know, on the assumption of office of former President Buhari, he created specific bilateral relations with sub-regional countries in terms of the security. And when he came back from Chad, Mali and Co., he said the chief of army staff cannot stay in Abuja in the office and be dishing out orders to the theater of war. He said he has to move. He had to move to the theater of war, Bondo State. That was Sabura time moved to Bondo State. And that was how, security-wise, they were able to overcome Boko Haram. They retrieved by the 14 local governments that were in the control of Boko Haram, turned down the incessant bombs and attacks for Boko Haram. One would have expected actually to do the same thing. This security is going out of proportion. He has not taken any initiatives in creating bilateralism in terms of security with the sub-regional countries. This insecurity is not limited to Nigeria alone. It's coming from down, over 50% of it. And one will expect it to do something. It has not done. So please, we are keep begging you. We are not free in our country. Anybody can be a victim.
All right then. I must let you go now, Ibrahim Mustafa. Thank you so very much. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your consistency. Thank you for your love of the station. But we just have to be as fast as possible so we can attend to as many people as possible and as many top issues as possible. Please, so that when you come now, let's take this question. As we speak right now, it's as if a diplomatic row is being set up, even as the government, through the FCT, is putting pressure and might be sealing up the embassies of about 34 countries in pursuit of the payment of ground rent. Now, what does that portend? How do you see it? So maybe you can just start and maybe add these other ones that...
Well, Nigeria as a country and governance is a serious business. So when I see people being passionate on issues of Nigeria, I am so happy about it. And they are being passionate because they want solutions, they want answer. And that is the best. That is deserving of every law-abiding citizen. You should be part of governance. The governance should not take you by shock. But let me start with the first speaker. The first speaker was saying about foreign affairs, and I want to state categorically that in summary again, I want to term the 2 years tenure of President Bola Tinubu as a responsive government with responsive economy. This is the disconnect. We have low involvement of the citizens in production.
Low involvement
of the citizens in local production.
What local production? Good. How do you want to produce with electric power? Let's not go there, because see,
I have not landed.
All right, go on.
You see, if we increase our production and we export it, I remember there was one of the meetings where I think we met some years back. We met with the president of the ambassador of Russia. And we were asking questions, and they were letting us know that Nigeria is the second highest importer of wheat from Russia. And we're like, fine. So after we import wheat, the container goes back empty. So can you see where we have lost it? So for you to have that FX flow, one, yes, we have, what do you call it, the subsidy. And then we have the floating of the naira, so that money comes in. And at the same time, we are making productions, because a lot of our things are admired. Even the clothes you are wearing, I've heard of it, but it's sold for 150,000 naira in Italy. It was ordered from here through Nigerian Export Promotion Council. So, as we are going in, money is being injected back into the country, and all of those things. So the issue, what we need to do is, as a country, we have to understand citizens at the ground level that we as a country, we are a brand. We have a lot of ideas. We are good in productivity. We have to engage ourselves to think beyond what we are doing so that we can produce things. The issue there is that when you spend a lot of time around complain, where have you gone to ask questions? What have you see? I'll tell you very well now that if you go back to my house, let me give
my last question, because we have barely 2 minutes.
If you go back to my place in Kaduna, where they have ginger,
yes,
people are going back to the farm to go and farm. And now, how much is the price of ginger in the international market?
All right. We're not talking ginger though.
This can be
now. Let me ask this last question because we don't have the time now. The president, on 2 occasions now, has taken working vacation, to assess his yearly performance, whatever, abroad. Now, I think the first one was in UK, the second one was in France.
True.
What does that do to our brand? You just talked about our brand. In a country is like a brand that needs to be invested in, that needs to be well positioned. What kind of positioning is it when your #1 citizen has to go take working vacation outside of his country? We hear several times of how American presidents will leave the White House, and there's this popular place, it's not coming now, that they go take their vacation. We hear, and so what seriousness does this say? What sell? What marketing is that, or demarketing is that the #1 president will not go to Obudu, will not go to where's this Bauchi very popular this thing, will not find any place in Nigeria where he can quietly do his working vacation.
Are you
I'm going to take this call in addition. You have the question already, but let's take this last caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Dayo. Good afternoon, the panelists.
Welcome. This is Mohammed from Duguri.
Happy Salah in Adia.
I know your voice. Yes, okay. Same to you. But incidentally, you have just 30 seconds because we're in the nick of time.
Okay. I read the performance in 2 years, at least well above average. That's one I will say.
Incidentally, most of you are talking on a general note, but it's okay. Your 30 minutes is running.
Okay. The second one is, please, as we are approaching the Democracy Day, let the Ministry of Finance and the Accountant General clear all the outstanding of allowances and
Mohammed.
so that the people will celebrate the democracy, because they say the government of the people for the people. So
okay, Mohammed.
Let me say something.
Tell them, because you are in Abuja.
No, they can hear themselves. Even our guests have said that the presidency is listening.
The presidency is listening.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Go on quickly.
Yeah, so you said something very important, and I want to answer that because I don't want it to go. We have limited time. So have you heard of AFCTA, Africa Continental Free Trade Area?
Yes, I have.
So are you aware what the minister is presently doing with her team, going all around the world, what they are doing on that particular issue?
Minister of Trade?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So let me remind you again, because it has answered your question, sir. The president doesn't have to be everywhere. There's a body language, and he has picked the best.
No, you probably didn't get my question.
Yeah, it's the vacation.
He has gone to do vacation twice abroad.
Yes.
Why can't he do that locally? It's the same thing with our medical tourism. Our elites fly all over the place to go get medicals. Why can't? And we have well-trained doctors who are working abroad. Why can't we provide the enabling environment for them, the working conditions for them to remain here?
So you are still narrowing it, because I'm getting down to your answer. If you actually appreciate that, yes, this vacation could be in different forms. For instance, even up to yesterday, the Minister of Trade just came back from
why is the president taking his vacation?
And when she went to France, she was there with our dear mommy Ngozi Ukwenjuela. These are part of the outings. I am telling you that
where
this you have to understand.
Your president, my president, was getting into France, and the French president was moving out. There was no regard, no response, no respect to at least welcome him and all that. See, at this point, we have no time. We must draw this program to a close. I must thank my guest today, Yahaya Goje. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
And thank you, production team, viewers from around the world. You do a great job watching us and telling others about what we do. Thank you so very much. And for all the callers, Mohammed, Ibrahim, Mustafa, Tokwe from Nasarawa, Friday from Abuja, and so on and so forth, we give you all the kudos. Thank you so very much. And those who were trying and couldn't get through all the time, we appreciate you. We understand. God bless you. God bless KAFTAN TV. And I'm out. My name is Dayo Omogun.
Thank you.